you. Welcome to the New Jersey Institute of Technology. A special welcome, please, to several of our county college partners who are here. Very important in this continuum of preparing the workforce for manufacturing. I welcome the students in the back there. I believe you are from the Bergen Academies, if I have that correct. So there's North Bergen, thank you. So we have a lot of students here who come for the purposes of having a very, very successful career upon graduating. I also want to thank, obviously, Gail and Ray, and the two gentlemen I had the chance to meet this morning, Lou Weiss and Tim Grady, for all that they're doing in Manufacturing Talk Radio. One of the critical issues is to make people aware of the new manufacturing. We often talk about it, whether it's advanced manufacturing, whether it's the talent network, manufacturing talent network that our friends at the New Jersey Department of Labor support. It's very important that we communicate to parents and to students and to others here about the opportunity and the importance of manufacturing. Gail's already touched on a couple of the data points. I'll touch on a couple more. We were talking earlier where this is Manufacturing Day or Manufacturing Week. I would propose we should be celebrating manufacturing every day of the week. After all, look at what it represents, 12% of the gross domestic product. It's a $2 trillion industry. It represents 3/4 of the R&D that industry does in this country, 3/4 of the R&D. So we're very thankful and grateful for that at NJIT. Employs 17 million workers. The salary differential on an annual basis is about $15,000 higher for those working in manufacturing as compared to all other industries. So we really need to repaint, reconfigure, ask people to rethink manufacturing. And as Gail's already talked about, that multiplier effect. The good news is, as you've heard, manufacturing is growing again. Actually, in looking at some data, I realized that if you look at New Jersey among the 50 states, we're probably in number 12 or 13 as far as the GDP that's produced in this state as a result of manufacturing. So again, we should be celebrating it more often than 1 week of the year. We think we're reshoring manufacturing, a term that we love new terminology and causes the reprinting of dictionaries and by the way, printing is a second very large manufacturing industry here in New Jersey, I think second only to the pharma medtech manufacturing industry. So the idea of new terms, so reshoring, we're seeing more jobs returning to the state and the nation. And from my understanding as to the rationale and having talked with some of our CEOs, it's about productivity. The United States is perceived as having the best productivity in manufacturing, the best quality, and again, bringing the product close to the customer. So if you look at, and I continue to go to some websites and I'm automatically messaged on others about manufacturing. So if you look today at the BMW plant that was built in Greer, South Carolina, hundreds of jobs are posted. Vacancies, current vacancies. In Newark, New Jersey, where I believe there's about 11,000 to 12,000 manufacturing employees, there's about 100 posted today. And you'll see the minimum job, something like $22 an hour. And they talk about full benefits. So look at the opportunity. And one of the reasons I would highlight the students in high school and our county college partners is we are not doing enough. And one of the things I'd propose to you as a takeaway to prepare, and we already know we're not doing enough, to prepare the workforce. So my observation about all of this, I think we're doing fairly well here at NJIT. We happen to have over 11,000 students on our campus, a record enrollment, doing $110 million in research. Today we just got noticed about a 5-year, $11 million per year grant, about a $50 million grant having to do with electronic medical records, and again, there's manufacturing in that. So we're doing a lot here. We've got a baccalaureate, I think one of the few in the state, focusing on engineering, technology, and manufacturing. We've got our masters in mechatronics, but it's not enough. And I would propose the partnership of the K-12 schools, particularly the high schools, and career technical education is desperately needed in the state to do as Gail is proposing, to recapture some of the increased opportunities that will rapidly, in my opinion, increase in manufacturing. So I welcome you here. I hope you get an opportunity to listen to our panelists and the comments and leave here energized and be prepared. And I see a colleague of ours in the audience. So we're going to be talking about taking our factory of the future, which one time was the future, but it's now a little tired, so we're going to be talking about making it a makerspace where more folks, some of you in the audience, can come here and look at innovation, for example. So again, I hope you have a full and rewarding day and continue to celebrate manufacturing. Have a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. So every year when we run this program, and this is the 4th year that we've had a New Jersey Manufacturing Week, and each year the Commissioner of the State of New Jersey, the Department of Labor, issues a proclamation for New Jersey Manufacturing Week. And this year we have Catherine Storgill to issue the proclamation, to give us the proclamation. She oversees, she's the Executive Director of Workforce Operations and Business Services at the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. She oversees day-to-day operations of the 23 one-stop career centers. She has a lot of experience in the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, and she's actually our funder for the New Jersey Advanced Manufacturing Talent Network. So welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here on behalf of Commissioner Hal Wirths to present this proclamation to officially begin the Advanced Manufacturing Talent Network Industry Week. I'm going to read the proclamation, so you're going to hear a lot of whereases. But it is much shorter this year, which is great. I do want to say that the Advanced Manufacturing Talent Network here at NJIT gets it right. They are doing exactly what we at the Department of Labor and Workforce Development envisioned when we created this monster. They are engaging employers. They are engaging job seekers. They are feeding us at the state with intel on trends and the desires of the employers for their workforces so that we can strategically spend or invest our funds to train and prepare the workforce. So I just want to thank you all here at NJIT for those efforts. And now the proclamation. State of New Jersey Executive Department Proclamation. Whereas the manufacturing industry is a dynamic segment of New Jersey's economy and an integral part of the state's quality of life and economic development strategy, and whereas manufacturing accounted for more than 241,400 New Jersey jobs and contributed nearly $42 billion to New Jersey's gross domestic product in 2013, and whereas advanced manufacturing is one of the 7 priority industry clusters in the state, and whereas more than 132,100 people were employed in industries classified as advanced manufacturing in New Jersey in 2013, representing about 55% of all manufacturing employment in the state. And whereas New Jersey's advanced manufacturing industry establishments paid a total of more than $12.6 billion in wages in 2013, which is roughly 6.6% of the state's total wages. Now, therefore, I, Chris Christie, Governor of the State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim September 28th through October 2nd, 2015 as Manufacture New Jersey Week in New Jersey. And this proclamation is signed by both the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. So before I introduce the keynote speakers, I'd just like to give my few cents about manufacturing in the state of New Jersey. As I go around the state, and that is my job to go around the state and visit manufacturers, I find that we're alive and well and doing better. And why is that? Why are we keep talking about manufacturing coming back to the States? Well, last year, the Boston Consulting Group, which does all kinds of studies in this area, predicted that by the year 2018, the United States will be a lower cost producer of manufactured goods than China. Okay? It's wow. That's a wow thing. I was with a German banker, a New York banker from Germany, last year also, and he told me that it's cheaper to build a BMW in America and ship it to Europe than to build it in Europe. And that was confirmed by the German consulate. I find companies coming back to New Jersey, coming back to America because of the lower costs and for the best customization that we're doing. So manufacturers are looking for skilled workers, and the problem is we don't have them, as many as they need. And that's what this conference is all about today, to give you an idea of what we're doing. Again, as I go around the state, I talk to community colleges. A lot of the community colleges are stepping up to the task, and they are building the mechatronics programs, the certification programs that are needed. I talk to the VOTECs, or CTE schools, these technical high schools, and I find that we only have one in every county. And with only one in every county, they're turning away 3 out of every 4 applicants, not because they're not qualified, but because they don't have the room. We need more of those schools around, okay, to generate the type of workers we need. It's like the field of dreams. You build it, they'll come. If we have the skilled workers, the companies will come here. And that's what it's all about. So with that, I would like to introduce the keynote speakers from Manufacturing Talk Radio. We're very honored to have them here today. We have Louis Weiss, who's the president of All Metals and Forge Group. He's not only the founder and co-host of the Manufacturing Talk Radio, but he also has a company here in Fairfield, New Jersey, All Metals Forge and Forge Group. And in 2013, he launched the Manufacturing Talk Radio. They have 2,000 to 3,000 listeners on a weekly basis. You can access their talk program on www.mfgtalkradio.com, and it's something I'm going to be spending a lot more interest every week to do. They market their show with a twice-weekly e-blitz to 60,000 subscribers, totaling 120,000 views. That's terrific. Along with Lou Weiss is Tim Grady, who's the vice president of the All Metals and Forge Group, and also a host of Manufacturing Talk Radio. And Mr. Grady is also an author and a public speaker, and I guess we're going to hear some of that today. So welcome to NJIT. Clicker, and let me get this up. That's not it. That's not it. Uh-oh.
Well, we're getting that set up. Welcome. My name is Tim Grady. This is Lou Weiss on my left.
Here it is. Okay.
There we go.
Let me just put this up with me. Okay. That will work.
Lou, why don't you open it up and tell the folks a little bit about Manufacturing Talk Radio and how we got here today?
First of all, we are here today to discuss the solutions of skills gap, which everybody seems to be aware of, and it's in every newspaper, television show, talk radio, talk television.
Again, because there's some very good quality workers in Mexico. So again, if we can't produce the workers, the manufacturer's not simply going to go, oh, okay, I quit, I'm going to close my company. They're going to find a way, and they're going to move more jobs offshore or nearshore. The other thing they're going to do, and there's always pressure on the federal government to increase the number of H-1B visas. In other words, we want to bring tech workers in from around the world into this country. So I think it's important to understand that manufacturing will find a way. And we have to be responsive and continue to be leading in order to counter that so jobs don't move offshore.
Well, I see Ray has his hook ready to drag us off, and I thought that we actually negotiated an extra 1 minute, but 1 minute. I'm now down to 1 minute. Okay, so in summary, as Tim just said, U.S. manufacturers are not going to give up. We didn't give up during the Second World War, won the war, created some of the best products, war products, and other products after the war that were utilized in everyday life. So manufacturers are not going to give up. Right now we're in a time frame of very rapid technological change, which means more manufacturing, which means more people have to learn the technology in order to be in manufacturing. The projected 2 or 3 million vacant jobs, we've got them now, we're going to have more of them later. We need to have the NJITs and the associations doing certifications and training and convincing those who need to be trained and allowing their kids to be trained to go into a manufacturing environment. The economy is not particularly predictable, as we all have lived through ups and downs, particularly the last 7, 8 years. We, Manufacturing Talk Radio, will continue to support manufacturing. We're having a lot of fun doing this. We're not making a lot of money at it, but we are enjoying it. We're meeting a lot of great people and interesting people, bright people, and we're going to continue with that. So mfgtalkradio.com on Tuesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in. You'll find it very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
We did give you 5 extra minutes, okay? That was a tough negotiation. Before I bring up the next speaker, just, you know, getting the national perspective from you guys helps a lot. You know, we don't appreciate how good we have it in this state. I talked to Choose New Jersey. Choose New Jersey is the group that helps bring companies into New Jersey from outside the state. And they say New Jersey is very attractive. It's very attractive for a number of reasons. One is our education system. People don't realize we have one of the top education systems in the country. We also have the mountains, we have the shore, we have Atlantic City, we have a lot of desire. We're close to New York, close to Philadelphia. So who makes the decisions to come to New Jersey? Who makes the decision to bring these companies here or to stay here and keep growing? It's the executives. And they have wives and families, husbands, wives and families. And again, New Jersey is attractive because of that. And because of that, we just need to build the skilled workers. That's what we need. And when you talked about the education system and expecting other states coming to us and asking, how do you do that? Don't tell them. Because a lot of people say, oh, our competition is China, it's Mexico. No, it's not. Our competition is Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, North Carolina, Florida, too. So, you know, our competition is within this country. And we need to really step up fast because these states have been active for a long time in this area. And we need to keep doing it. And Right now, I want to introduce the next speaker. Joanne Mitchell has been a tremendous supporter of manufacturing in the state, and she was born and raised in a manufacturing family and has been very active in manufacturing. She loves manufacturing. I think manufacturing loves her too. And one of the things that, Sandvik Corporation, Sandvik Coromant Company, does a lot of training people, not only training students and so on, but also training companies that use their products. And training is very important to this company, and they do a great job of it. And they're very active in New Jersey's Dream It, Do It program, which you're going to hear a little bit more about from Michael. They helped fund a program that we ran, a Young Manufacturer Summer Academy this summer for young students in Newark. And they're also very active in Mechaforce. You're going to be hearing about Mechaforce from me and Trammell later. And a tremendous lady, Joanne Mitchell.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, as Ray so kindly said, I am Joanne Mitchell. I'm from Sandvik Coromant, just around the corner and up the block in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And on behalf of the 52,000 people, Ray, at Sandvik, thank you very much for those kind words. I work with a very big team. And this morning, I'm going to talk about the skills that students need and why they need them. Can I just see who's in the audience? I know I have a lovely group from North Bergen. Can you all, the students, all wave at me? Hi, good morning, everybody. Who's here? Who are my education partners in the room? Teachers, educators? Hello, bless you all. As the proud spouse of a New Jersey teacher, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If it wasn't for you, I couldn't read any of this stuff. And manufacturers. Who are my colleagues that make stuff? There we go. Hello, everybody. Well, having said that, we're going to talk about developing careers in manufacturing. If you ask most people, not us, manufacturing is dead or dying. We are most definitely not dead, but we are sure different from most people's vision of manufacturing. For most people, it looks like this. This great picture here is not what you see in the building today. What you see here is innovation. What you see in this building is giving our students a current view, and that's important to keeping your interest, students, and keeping you engaged and how you can apply the skills you're learning not only to jobs, but to careers. What you see in the picture is the old Sandvik shop circa 1931, almost 100 years ago. It's not black and white anymore, and it doesn't look like that. It looks like this. It's a lot different. This is also the Sandvik shop, but today's world, not 100 years ago. What do you notice that's different? North Bergen, what do you notice that's different? Let me see a hand, please. Whoa, very quiet all of a sudden in the back. Okay, it's in color. It's got robots. See the robots? Those guys in red? See the robots? And it's got two colleagues of mine. A lot fewer people. And these two guys, they happen to be guys, have a different skill set from those wonderful people you saw on the previous slide from 1931. In fact, some of the skills these two colleagues have didn't exist in 1931. Skills like computer-aided design, CAD, skills like computer-aided manufacturing, CAM, that depend on the ability to use technology to create output that a robot will understand in order to make or do something. What do we need for today and for the high technology careers of tomorrow? We need math skills, communication skills, ingenuity and innovation skills, an acute bias to solving problems and building solutions, engineering skills, and we use some very different tools from 1931, tools like CAD and CAM and robots. Where do people go to learn these skills, and learn new ones for the rest of the 21st century. Sometimes you all come to manufacturers, especially on Manufacturing Day, but most of all, they come to you, our education partners, here at NJIT, at our community colleges, at our fine technology high schools. Our education partners, with unflagging zeal and incredible enthusiasm, devote your lives to sharing knowledge and preparing people to bring good things to the world through your talents, your skills, and your attitude. Thank you. But how do the rest of us engage these students, and how do we help them acquire the skills, and what skills do they need? Well, we engage them through their interest. But what interests today's students? It's quite a group, and it's quite diverse. It's people who may already be in the workforce, but, as Ray said, may be underemployed or looking for new opportunities to use their existing education. It's non-graduates, undetermined about their career path. Soon-to-be graduates who have no idea what they will study or how they will make a living once they graduate. All of these groups learn differently. But do they all need the same skills? Pretty much they do. They will get them, though, in different ways. When students are getting these skills, we also bring them in the world to see how the skills they learn in the classroom are applied outside in manufacturing institutes. Here's a group of our Dream It, Do It Young Manufacturers Summer Academy team at the Sandvik Cormont Center in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, seeing technical demonstrations and getting a better understanding of how their education works in the real world. This is actually a picture of one of the students looking at how we make cutting tools. And in those little jars, looks like a chemistry set, it kind of is, are the powdered materials that we make the cutting tools you depend on every day. Now, why should students be interested in education, and why should they be interested in applying that knowledge in modern high-technology manufacturing? We've talked a lot about the power of American manufacturing. Well, if American manufacturing were its own country, we'd be in the top 10 economies. Just American manufacturing alone. And America is still the largest single manufacturing engine on this planet. It takes 32 countries to beat us out. And those 32 countries are the entire European Union. As a single entity, we are the single largest manufacturing driver in the world that we know. All of the manufacturers you work with build this result. And our question is, why should our students care? This is why students should care. And aerospace is only one of the areas that high technology manufacturing is critical to. The graph you see here shows how passenger traffic is developing for the next 20 years. Passenger traffic means more airplanes. Many of us here work with this manufacturing segment, and the source for this information is from Boeing, Airbus, and Rolls-Royce. Manufacturers are right here in New Jersey. We are small, we are medium, we are large, and we are local. This is an opportunity. North Bergen kids, this is an opportunity close to home where you can put those fabulous skills to work. Despite what we hear about current economic conditions, there is very little reason to question the underlying fundamentals of commercial aircraft demand. The demand does come from some countries in Asia, but it's also from replacing literally thousands of older aircraft in the mature markets of Europe and of North America. Right now, the current aircraft fleet is about 15,000 airplanes. Looking ahead, we will need to build or produce parts for 25,000 airplanes. Not only new equipment, but replacement parts for existing technology. That's a lot of technology skills. There are careers for all skill levels in high technology manufacturing. Engineering is one of the hardest to fill, and it's a great career. However, not everybody wants to make the immediate investment in a 4-year college program to acquire the complex algebra, physics, materials science, chemistry, fluid dynamics, and electronic skills that are needed for engineering. Many people need or want a job now, immediately, and there are jobs at many education levels in manufacturing and for many kinds of education skills. The ability to engage students of all kinds through classroom learning and practical application keeps them interested in acquiring the skills they need in the modern world. What are these skills? They're the same skills that the students practice every day with you, our education partners, from grade school onwards. And they are the same skills that we use every day in manufacturing. STREAM. Science, how we understand how the universe is put together and how we express that logically so others can benefit from that understanding through a common language. Technology, how do we use the tools we have, including computers and robots, to improve life for everyone? Programming skills are part of this set, the expression of a design or instruction that a robot can understand in order to produce a component. In my world, people think, robots work. Reading, an absolutely critical skill set to acquire all the other skills and to be able to collaborate with others through the written word. Engineering, one of my favorites, problem solving. Use all these skills to make life better, to solve all kinds of problems in the physical world. Art. Art's very important. Art stimulates and develops the imagination to help visualize and design solutions to new problems so that these solutions can be built. Math is the language of the universe. Math is how we express the relationships and natural phenomena and a common set of terms that everybody can understand across the globe. Math has many levels, all of them important, from fractions and decimals on a ruler to an app to the most complex algebraic expressions used to express the geometry of a part so that a machine can go to work and build the part that people have designed. We need all these skills in manufacturing. All of us need them. Just not all of us need them at the same time to the same degree. In manufacturing, we work together in teams. Sometimes we work alone. We may work in the same building or a continent away. We collaborate, we share our skills. So if you're terrific in 2 or 3 of these areas, everybody at North Bergen, if you're great in 2 or 3 of these areas, you can still work with others who have different skills. That's what collaboration is about. We share what we know to build the result that we need. And it does not matter if you're a man or a woman, because we have a 30 million person gap in the number of people we need to keep this stream of products and innovation flowing. For people with the right skills, there is opportunity. Manufacturing output has been rising at a solid pace over time. Most of this growth has been achieved by improving productivity. How do we normally improve productivity in the United States? We use robots. We use robots that are built and programmed by people. The robot-to-person ratio in the United States is about 1 to 60. It's one of the highest on the planet. The people, the well-educated people, thank you, Tim and Lou, here in New Jersey, are skilled and talented people who can make robots do what is necessary to produce the products we depend on. They are a product of our excellent education system here in New Jersey. And this has fostered a globally competitive U.S. manufacturing sector. What has changed? The kinds of jobs we have in manufacturing. Because what took 1,000 people to make in the 50s, another black and white picture, takes fewer than 200 in 2010. That's a big change in the number of people, and it's a big change in the kind of skills that we need to keep this technology streaming along. Education makes the difference in how many people we have to put into these skilled careers. I think everybody knows who this guy is, and probably a lot of us in here are carrying something he designed and his company built. The reason it's here is because the education that we receive, whether formerly here at NJIT, through distant learning, through a massive open online course, from people who share their experiences and their skills, like Sandvik Cormont in one of our training classes, all contribute to building the next generation of innovators and inventors. And especially for my students in the back and for everybody here, don't settle. Keep learning. Learn from everybody. Dream big. And bring your skills to manufacturing, where we build those dreams. We turn them into something you can hold in your hand and put to use.
Thank you, Joanne. You know, it's so exciting what you say, with the picture you produce for and present about manufacturing careers. I wish I was back 43 years ago when I graduated this institution and all those opportunities were available then. There were opportunities and I made the best of it, but it's exciting today what's going on. And I like the fact that you spoke to the students, because they're the ones we really need to speak to. We really need to get them interested in careers in manufacturing. And our next presenter actually is someone that's helping in that area. James Keebler is the director of the Piscataway Public Library. And I met James about a year ago when we started planning the inaugural New Jersey Makers Day. And this was a concept that was developed by Piscataway Public Library, NJIT, MNJ, and others. And we had a very successful day last year, May 21st was it? It was a Saturday. I think over 15,000 people participated around the state, and we're going to do more and more and better job this year. And James Keebler and the Piscataway Public Library, Hillsdale Public Library was here as well. They're all going to help make it happen. James is, he graduated from Rutgers, which is good, and he's the president of the New Jersey Library Association and was selected as New Jersey Librarian of the Year in year 2012. Please welcome James Keebler. You don't have a presentation, right? We will have a video. What? Did you load it? No. You don't need to load it? Okay, I'm sorry.
Road they didn't need, they were broken, and fix them for fun. And I remember as a kid learning how things worked and getting my hands on things like that really was a connection for me. Really made, when we went to Maker's Day, was my excitement. Going back to being a kid and seeing my grandfather fix all things they didn't need, just for learning how to make them. While libraries got into this, personally, I hope there's no other librarians here, because the best thing that happened to us was the economic crash. Library funding is tied to property values. So when property values went down in 2008, 2009, 2010, our funding went down. But it was a wake-up call for a lot of libraries. you know, like as businesses, if you lose a lot of money, you got to look at what are we doing here? And libraries had this opportunity to look at how do we become relevant? We'd been books and a quiet place to read for a long time, and shushing, everybody talks about. But it was really time to look into the community. Where's the community at now? And at the same time, there's a massive unemployment. So we're helping people try to find jobs. We're helping with resumes, Excel. But we really started to look inside. And then as we started seeing that people want to learn these skills or be introduced to these skills, kids want to learn about different things, how to take things apart. So we became the first library in New Jersey to open a makerspace in 2013. And then when that built, LibraryLink and the State Library did a $100,000 grant for across New Jersey to open makerspaces in libraries. And that was a big impact. So this is building off of that. Why making in libraries? Some people ask, what does this have to do with libraries? Well, libraries have always been about learning. It's always been a place to go. You go for books, you go for research. Before you had the internet, you have to go, ask for anything, you have to go to a librarian, find an article. So we have this history of learning. And as learning has moved away just from book learning, libraries are a natural place for this to happen. One of the things that I enjoy is our programs can be very flexible. You know, we put out like a pile of cardboard and ask kids, what can you make out of this? What can you design out of that? And to see them come up with things, we have old technology, people have them take apart and they design art or jewelry. You know, so we have this flexibility, people come, kids that are homeschooled come and enjoy the library programs, parochial schools, charter schools, public schools, and all come together and learn these different, and get interested in these industries that we're talking about today. We also have some formal programs, which Mo will talk a little more. We have a Summer Make program, which is an 8-week program in the summer when kids don't necessarily have a lot to do. Some can go to camp. A lot of kids can't afford to, at least in our communities. So we have a free 8-week program, or 3 to 4 programs a week. They're learning about technology or science. And it's an exciting time. And libraries are a great place for this, for collaboration, because we realize we need to give these skills to kids, people who are unemployed or underemployed, to help our communities. Some of the things we have 3D design, we have Arduino programming, Scratch programming for the children, robotics classes, as long as a lot of hands-on things that people like to enjoy, like sewing, leatherworking, and wood etching. You know, it's really a great, we really found our place, libraries, as this lifelong learning. Also, we opened our makerspace, and early on, a small company came in and was using our 3D printer to print prototypes. Because at the time, their only option was to send it online to somebody, a company would print it, they'd get it like a week or 2 weeks later, then you have to make a modification, send it back out again. But they could come to our makerspace and print the prototypes right there. And make a modification, print another one. We saw, okay, so we don't need to teach everything either. We could be a place where people come together and collaborate. We've had coding clubs. We would put out computers and set a certain period of time. People come and work through Code Academy, but then also help each other and build these connections that a lot of us have lost as social capital has been weakened. We also, if you look on meetup.com, a lot of these groups use libraries that get together. They talk about common topics. The Geek group I know meets in South Brunswick, and we've used it for things too. So people find libraries as a safe place to go. It's free, and it's a place to make connections and build on your ideas, get feedback, and work forward. And finally, libraries are great community partners because everybody comes to us. Everybody from, like I said, all different schools, underemployed, unemployed, people are perfectly happy. Everybody comes by. I remember in Morris County when I worked there, one of the things that people loved the most was all they did was a display of all the things made in Morris County, manufactured in Morris County. And people loved it. They had no idea it was made 2 blocks from them. And that display, everybody, kids, everybody would look at that and be like, wow, this is great. This is, people saw all this manufacturing they didn't even know existed. And it connected them. Oh, I use that. Oh, I have one of those. And I think what happened with Maker's Day is when we were working with the Manufacturing J is that we saw what we have in common. They're trying to get kids interested in manufacturing. We're trying to teach kids about opportunity, what they could do, what's out there, beyond lawyer and doctor. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but so we're trying to connect. And then we have the underemployed and unemployed in our libraries all the time saying, help me get a job. What can I do? Even unemployment, you have to file online. So we have the unemployed filing online in the library So as we've built off resumes and how to do Microsoft Word, we're continuing on, showing people. We had actually an unemployed person teach a 3D design class at our library. You know, for him, his opportunity to maybe get a job, but also get back to the community. A local teacher had taught all summer, taught a robotics class, an Arduino class in our library. So with Manufacturing J, we said, our goals are your goals. Helping our community, getting these people jobs, good paying jobs, where they can grow in their jobs, was our goal too. So that's why I think this synergy worked well. Now I'll turn over to Mo, who works with our teens, and talk about that.
Thank you, James. As James said, I work with teens, more specifically, the teens, on a broader term, students. So we're all aware of STEM education in schools, but I don't know if we're all aware of STEM education in libraries, where we're opening our doors after school on the weekends and during the summer for students. STEM education promotes higher learning. It helps with problem-solving skills and encourages hands-on learning. And this summer, Piscataway Public Library was awarded a grant from Cognizant under the Making the Future initiative. So this allowed us the whole summer to open our doors for students in grades 4 through 12, and they learned STEM education. They learned hands-on project building. And this was all free. And what we took away from that, what my favorite part of it was, is that the students would come in and they would learn robotics, they would learn electronics, and they'd be so happy that they did it themselves, and then they would go home and they would come in the next day and they'd say, I took it apart and I built something else, and let me show you what I learned. And I think that was the greatest takeaway from the free STEM education over the summer. Our biggest goal was to teach them that it's okay to tinker, it's okay to take things apart, it's okay to figure out how things work, and not to just accept that this is the final result, and I'm not capable of knowing what went into it, when they're more than capable of doing it themselves. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said that by the year 2022, there will be an increase of 9 million STEM-related occupations. And libraries are just one of the many institutions in New Jersey that are offering the STEM education to prepare these students for the workforce. I think that's the most important thing that libraries are doing when it comes to STEM education. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alan McGinley, and I'm a branch manager at Piscataway Public Library. I'm going to talk to you about what NJ Makers Day is and was. We started it last year in 2015, and NJ Makers Day essentially was a one-day celebration of making and maker culture statewide in New Jersey. And we thought it was really important we saw sort of an opportunity for NJ Makers Day. We saw maker spaces cropping up in libraries, museums, schools, community maker spaces, private maker spaces. But what we noticed was that these groups weren't connected to each other. And so what we wanted to do was to create that network to connect all of these people and all of these groups. Because you could be doing great work, but if you're off in a silo, you know, there's no opportunity for that collaboration and for that work to really expand. So we created this day. It was an all ages event. And for those that are not familiar, I've heard makerspaces mentioned several times, but as far as, you know, what maker culture is, the way I describe it is it's kind of like that intersection between DIY and between hacker culture. And so it's having a really big impact on the economy in New Jersey. We were really happy with our event. Our event included over 150 sites in all 21 counties of New Jersey, which was really important to us to really make this a statewide effort. And we had over 15,000 attendees on this one day. As far as how we created the event, it was our first challenge was to create a statewide content that could be pushed out to all of these sites and really give them a reason to participate. So we started with 2 pre-recorded keynote events, which Manufacturer NJ helped us a lot in setting up, and really all of our partners, which I'm going to talk about a little more later. We also created a couple projects that could be pushed out and done at all of the sites. One of those was a DIY light bulb, which was really exciting to us, because it really kind of ties in and kind of celebrates the heritage of inventing in New Jersey, and also a balancing toy. So I want to take 1 second to actually show you a quick excerpt from Senator Cory Booker's keynote.
Hi, this is U.S. Senator Cory Booker. Thank you so much for allowing me to join with you as you gather at events all across our great state to celebrate the inaugural New Jersey Makers Day. Throughout our state history, we have always taken pride that we have had the ability to bring new and revolutionary ideas to the world. From Albert Einstein to Thomas Edison, from John Roebling to Les Paul, New Jersey has always been the hub of creativity and exploration. I know that as a former mayor of Newark, where we had great inventors who actually have invented things that we even take for granted today. I loved Seth Boyden, who invented patent leather. I know when people think all across the world of patent leather, they think of New Jersey. No, in all seriousness, we are the place. We built the first steam locomotive. We built by John Stevens in Hoboken. Things that are a part of our everyday lives, incandescent light bulb, movies, and the first brewery in America all belong to New Jersey. And our very own Ewing, New Jersey, saw the first robot used in an auto production assembly line. I'm telling you, if you're a Jersey person, you have a lot to be proud of. And so,
okay, so I think you get the idea there. But that was, that keynote was really exciting. It really reminded people of the rich, cultural heritage that we have when it comes to, making and inventing and manufacturing in New Jersey. Our other keynote was a author and blogger, Cory Doctorow, who some people may know. He's one of the people behind the Boing Boing blog. And he was just another person who really kind of, got people, fired up about making in New Jersey. The other thing that was important to us was being able to make connections among makers and makerspaces in New Jersey. So one thing that we did was we created a list of New Jersey professionals who are makers that we could then share with all of our sites. So we really made an effort to connect all of the people who are doing this kind of work, whether it's someone, making, handmade guitars, or whether it's a company who is, manufacturing a popular product. We really want to connect, the people who live in New Jersey, to those companies and to those people. And, it's really our hope that they will work on something for NJ Makers Day, but really that those relationships will last and they will grow, beyond that day. The other thing that we really focused on was developing tools and resources that we could share with all of the sites. So one thing we did was we worked with a company who produces the Finch robots, and we arranged for them to actually loan Finch robots to certain sites in New Jersey that they could have on hand for NJ Makers Day. We also partnered with Little Bits and SparkFun to provide different kits that could be used on NJ Makers Day. Make Magazine offered a discount for sites on the books that they produce. And the other piece of it was professional development. We want to give the people who work at the sites that we worked with the skills that they need to host these events. So we worked with groups like the Bergen Makerspace. We worked with SparkFun, and they actually produced professional development opportunities for representatives from all the sites that we worked with. This is another example, I think, of public libraries as a facilitator. What we're really trying to do, I know a lot of you are from different companies today, and what we're really trying to do is to help you connect to New Jersey residents at large. We want to help you promote your products, what your companies do, but also help you with, recruiting, help you, connect to, the young people that, that we're trying to, we keep hearing about the skills gap. And the only way I think that we solve that skills gap is by getting people excited at a young age about the type of work that the companies are doing now, and give them, the passion and really connect them to the opportunities to learn the skills that they need. So as far as what happened at the NJ Makers Day sites, it was really a broad range, and I think that sort of illustrates, the different communities that we worked with. So in some communities it was more crafts, other ones it was hands-on learning experiences, hands-on learning activities, demonstrations from makers in the community, but it really varied by community. I think that the major outcome of these different sites was really just, the excitement that it generated. At our site in Piscataway, there were people of all ages, coming up and talking to us about, what they saw, what they were really interested in. And it really varied greatly, even in the age and the interest. So we had little kids that, were excited to sort of, control a robot. And then we had older adults. Actually, there was a gentleman, in probably like his 30s who was telling me about this 3D printer that he was trying to create from scratch. And this just generated a great conversation because he hadn't thought of the library as a place to, go to, either use our tools and resources or actually use our 3D printer to 3D print some of the parts he was looking for. So it was really just about, excitement and engaging conversations that we had with people. So now I'm going to take another moment to show you another video that kind of gives you a little idea of what actually happened at these different sites on New Jersey Makers Day.
I love the library.
Shooting gallery ready for New Jersey Maker Day on March 21st. So we're pretty excited about this. It took us about 2 weeks to build, a little bit here, a little bit there, a couple hours here and there. But here we are. We have
Okay, sorry, I'm going to stop that there because I don't want to get the hook here. So that was 2015. So what's happening for 2016? Our goal is to really make this a bigger and better event. We've expanded it from 1 day to 2 days for 2016. It's going to be March 18th through 19th. So it's going to be a Friday and a Saturday. we're trying to extend our partnerships more this year with businesses and schools. And so adding the Friday just gives us more opportunity for schools to actually present programs to their students. So if you're interested in being part of New Jersey Makers Day this year, you can stop at our table back there. We have a save the date postcard, and we're also taking your business cards if you're interested in working with us. We have a lot of sponsorship and partnership opportunities. We did receive funding from some groups last year, but also the sponsorship sometimes took the form of kits for different groups, for the different sites, professional development opportunities. So we're pretty flexible, we're pretty open-minded with this. So if you have an idea, we're really interested in working with you. So thank you for listening to us today, and please stop by our table.
Yes, now, they mentioned they have this wind tunnel over there. That's a little demonstration they're going to show after we're done here. There's a few other demonstrations going on, or tables over here. I'd like to bring your attention back in the corner. Alcoa has a demonstration of the parts that they make here in New Jersey. Is that Dover or Dayton, New Jersey? Dover. And then Festo Didactic is here as well, and I encourage you to visit their table. And somewhere we have, is Glassroots here? Oh, you're here, okay. Yes, they were going to give a glass blowing demonstration. And unfortunately, we found out too late we needed a fire permit. So you just have to go visit their office. It's down here on Bleecker Street in Newark, okay. By the way, if anybody's interested in any of the speakers, contacting them later on, you could do that through me. I have all their contact information. I'm available. I've got, in the handouts, you have my contact information as well, okay? And we talk about things that are made in New Jersey. Anybody know about Stetson hats? You know, it's the #1 hat manufacturer in the country, Stetson hats. You know where the #2 hat manufacturer is? Stefanelli Hat Manufacturer in Newark, New Jersey. #2 manufacturer of cowboy hats is in Newark, New Jersey. Isn't that amazing? And there's so many other things. Anderson Windows, we hear a lot about Anderson Windows. They're made in New Brunswick, and they make all the Anderson windows, the vinyl windows, not the wooden ones, but they make the vinyl, which is the big volume, all the way from here through the Rocky Mountains. So there's so many things that are made in New Jersey. It's amazing. Now, I also want to mention, we talk about the Advanced Manufacturing Talent Network. This is focused on manufacturing, but the state has also funded 6 other talent networks in the state. And a lot of us, we cross-pollinate. There's a cross in between the work that we do. We have Dr. Padma Arvind, is she here? She was here a minute, there she is in the back. And Greg Scully. Dr. Arvind is with the Healthcare Talent Network, and Greg Scully is Transportation, Logistics, and Distribution. Thank you for coming. And I'm not sure if Travis McCoy, he's also based at NGIT. He's the Technology and Entrepreneurship Talent Network. Thank you. So it's a great program, and it will continue, right, Catherine? Yes. Terrific. So right now I'd like to introduce my cohort, Michael Marchetti. He's been, his background, he's been a senior quality assurance engineer in the DoD sector. He's also opened a series of shopping center, fast food restaurants and been very successful in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. And he also has developed a school extracurricular program where the schools focus on model rocket design and construction. And we're very fortunate to have him as the manager of the Advanced Manufacturing Talent Network, and he's going to talk about our Dream Ed 2 program. Michael.
I should have brought some sandwiches. How is everybody? You know, when I'm at gatherings like this, I think of a description some time ago of the difference between the House of Lords and the House of Commons in Great Britain. And the House of Lords was described by someone who said that a member of that institution had a dream that he was speaking and woke up to find that he was. So I want to assure you, that I am very awake, and what keeps me awake and energized is this program, Dream It, Do It. I am very impressed with it. I work on it with Ray, so I guess I'm biased, but there are so many things that we're able to accomplish with this program. And it exists in this state, thankfully to the efforts of Dr. Spack and Catherine Stargell. And without them, a lot of young people would not have this opportunity. So what is Dream It, Do It? It's a program based out of the Manufacturing Institute in Washington, D.C., and it, in a sense, is a marketing campaign, but it's so much more. We are involved in getting young people to be interested in manufacturing, but equally important in that equation is helping parents realize that manufacturing is not what it used to be, and creating mentorships from parents to engineers to educators. And it's through these mentorships that we really hope to lower that average manufacturing employee age from 57 back to somewhere in the 30s where it should be. So let's discuss the first program that we did. We just completed a couple of weeks ago, and it's the Dream It, Do It Young Manufacturers Summer Academy. And it was a great program. We had 23 young people involved in the program, and it was implemented in large measure due to the fine efforts of Sandvik Coromant and Joanne Mitchell, who helped to fund our efforts with a consortium of additional manufacturers. And this is one of our students, and we're giving a little plug to Sandvik. And you'll recognize Joanne in the center. This was at our capstone event, which occurred on a Saturday. The program lasted over 6 days. We had 100% attendance, and I want you to realize how significant that is. It was summertime, the weather was beautiful. The parents did not pay a penny for this program, so they didn't have skin in the game in that respect. And yet, these young people woke up at 6 in the morning, every morning, for 6 straight days, and partook in this program that was funded by Sandvik Coromant. I am so proud of these kids, and they were great, absolutely great. This is one of the tours that we took at Sandvik Coromant, which is a pristine facility in Fair Lawn. I encourage you to, sorry Joanna, to please go. Absolutely, they are. Visitors are always welcome. It's a wonderful facility, and it's an opportunity to really learn a lot of fascinating things in terms of metal cutting specifically. At the end of that particular capstone event, which happened on that Saturday, we brought in a manufacturer of pizza. So we had a pizza guy in the parking lot, and it was a wood-burning unit. It was so hot that there was no ash coming out. There was no soot coming out of that oven. It was incredible, and it was delicious. I do not have it here today, however. I'm sorry. The second element that we had during that week, we took the kids everywhere throughout central and northern New Jersey. They were in vans constantly and also in facilities constantly. We had the pleasure of going to Stryker, and Stryker gave us a wonderful tour of their facility, and also the kids got a chance to work on some robotics. Stryker, as I'm sure many of you know, does tremendous work in terms of replacements, body part replacements like hips and knees. And so the kids got a chance to work on a robotic element that preps knees for, to accept these alloys and devices. This is a group of the younger kids that I was taking around. They are all middle school age students, all from Newark. All the students are from Newark. Then we had the pleasure of going to Essex County College, where we went into the robotics lab, and Professor Bob Leone was our host and gave the kids several hours of instruction in robotics. And this is we're working on both the computer element, design element, as well as the robotic arm, which you'll see in the background. And this is one of several stations that Bob had set up for us. The kids were totally engaged. And we made mistakes, which is really cool. The project was to transfer a set of blocks in one configuration and simply move them to the same configuration in another location. And the problem, however, was set up so the blocks were when they were being educated in terms of how to actually do the programming, the model that was used had the blocks lined up in this orientation, but in the description, it had the kids line them up in this orientation. In fact, we wanted to have the blocks go from here to here. So it was a 90-degree turn. So on the fly, they had to reprogram this robotic arm to compensate for that error in initial prep. And it was great. The kids flowed with the punches. And Bob Leone, you'll notice in the back, his staff as well, and a lot of smiling faces. Then another part of the tour that week, we went to Raritan Valley Community College, where there's a dynamo by the name of Conrad Mercurius, and that's him at the front of the room. And there we spent 2 days with him and his staff, and it was great as well. We were working on CNC machines, on traditional lathes, milling machines, also various computer design activities as well. And we used Sandvik metal cutting tooling to do a lot of this work. There were smiles all around, as well as intensity. You'll notice the operator, very intense, and I have no idea why he's laughing in this particular scene. Here's a shot of Conrad, one of his other staff there, and interestingly, of the 23 students, over 25% were female. I found that great and amazing at the same time. Yes. And there's some of the metal cutting going on in the window there, and it was a fascinating process. The kids had a you can see how focused they are, and that's not a staged photo, I assure you. And then we went to Festo. We were, as I said, all over the state. And Festo is a tremendous supporter of all that we do. And this is, it may not look like advanced manufacturing, but 2 weeks ago, the power to move that lever was a team of oxen. No, I'm kidding. Patty Yoshius is an engineer with Festo who is involved in their STEM program, getting young people interested in all of these various elements. And they were doing a metal stamping effort there. And here we were doing, also at Festo, we were working on some pneumatic exercises that Patty had set up for the students. So the students went from this effort to a more traditional molding, injection molding exercise as well. And they all ended up going home with placards with their names molded into the plastic material. Mike Nager is here somewhere. Great, there you are, Mike. How are you? Mike is always always ready to help us all. And here we have a picture. We had 2 vans. This is the younger students, and Mike has a big smile on his face, and we have 12 kids in there. And this is the other van of students, the older students who were in high school. Mike is smiling not because of the invigorated feeling that one gets when working with these students, not because of all the interest he had, the real energy, but he was smiling because we were leaving. We are now also going on to other projects with Dream It Do It, again statewide. And one of them is called the Dream It Do It 500. And essentially, it is a program in which high school students go into teams of 4 or 5, and they design a rubber band powered car. And the objective is to see how straight and true the car will move and how much of a load it can carry. And then they are judged. However, there is a business element to this. So each team in the traditional Dream It Do It 500 model is given $100 cash. And with that money, they have to purchase materials. And if they're stuck, it all takes place in one day. If they get stuck in their design, they can bring an engineer over who's roaming the floor and ask for help. That costs $10. And then when they're done, if they have any money left, I don't know who gets that, right? We'll have to talk about that. But what happens is they present this project to a group of people in the hopes of trying to sell it to them. So there's this big business element. Now, I have the great luck to work with Piscataway Library as well on this. And what we're going to be doing is increasing the effort on the business part of this particular project. So we're working on designing this project now, and it will occur sometime in probably a November through January timeframe. And we're going to be doing it in Piscataway High School. And looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. The third project that we're going to be working on is called What's So Cool About Manufacturing? And we're focusing in middle school students. And these students go to a manufacturer that they like and that they have some interest in, and they film various elements of their activity. And these films are limited to 2.5 minutes, and they hit the internet, and voting takes place. And there are awards that are given. And I want to show you a video of one of those award-winning tapes. It's about a little over 2 minutes long.
What's so cool about manufacturing?
Hi, my name is Chance, and welcome to the Martin Guitar Company.
This is a really unique place to work. My name is John Marshall. We've been manufacturing guitars for 180 years. We have over 550 people employed here in very different skill positions.
Oh, I love my job here. We design custom fingerboards, pick guards, bridges, anything customers want. My name's Sean, and I make custom Martin guitars. So this is really cool because I can actually just use a laptop and program the CNC machine, cut out any kind of parts that I need.
I'm checking my cut with a sample of material to make sure that it's flush with the bag.
Hi, my name's Mercedes and I'm a phraser at Martin Guitar. I love mechanical things. I'm constantly on my toes. I work with a product that influences American and music history.
Martin guitars are played by Mumford & Sons, Ed Sheeran, Paul Simon, Hank Williams, John Mayer.
This is where we load the programs up that will actually run the guitar on the robot. My name's Keaton and I fix guitars. I needed to learn how to sand, polish, work with machines, and the aspects of repair. It's important to find out what you want to do early. There are lots of opportunities to continue your education at a good company.
We have designers, inlay artists, machinists, robotics and CNCs and laser cutting.
This is a cool machine. This is one of our CNC machines where we design a lot of complicated parts. Hi, my name is Brian. I'm a machinist and I love guitars. Career and Technical School is a great place to explore and try new things and find something you're good at and get your hands dirty. Find something that you like.
Something that gives you a background and a foundation that allows you to grow. The Martin guitar is a special thing. There is a huge sense of pride among the employees that work here. We all work together towards the same goal.
If you're interested in learning more information about cool manufacturing jobs, visit dreamitdoitpa.com.
The Pennsylvania Dream It Do It group were the ones that came up with this concept, and we'll be doing that throughout the state in 8 locations. Finally, what I wanted to mention was, what is the future of manufacturing? Do we build things in space, zero gravity? What's going to happen? And in my judgment, the future of manufacturing is in that space. Young people are our future. And it's my pleasure to introduce now Stephanie. Are you here? Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie Stern is the STEM specialist associated with the North Bergen STEM Academy students. And STEM, please come up, Stephanie. If you've ever heard of Ms. Frizzle, who's the driver of the Magic School Bus, remember that? Stephanie is Ms. Frizzle on steroids. She is great. Kids, be respectful of your teachers. My pleasure, Stephanie.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, that was very good. You did a good job. Would you guys stand up? Oh, I was talking to my students. First of all, I am so proud of our inaugural class of North Bergen STEM Academy, the class of 2019, and I would like to give them a hand. They went through a large process to get here, and some of our students, just raise your hands, want to go into medicine? Medicine? Good. To become doctors? Where is our neurosurgeon? I wanted to, there he is. There is our neurosurgeon. But I think a lot of students nowadays who think of careers as doctors or surgery don't understand that it takes an enormous amount of manufacturing to make that happen. And one of the conversations that we had was that Stryker, or it's Stryker Helmetica, that's what I always remember it as, is one of the largest producers of joints, not just in the United States, but all over. And where is my finance guy? Where's my finance person? There he is, good. And it takes a lot of manufacturing for financiers to follow companies. And what's amazing is that our students have really given themselves over to our program in North Bergen, and we are building this school almost from scratch. So what else? One of you wants to go to Oxford University to study, is that correct? And how many of you want to go into actual science, a science-related field? Computer science, yes, technology, engineering, etc. There we go. So we really run a gambit. You guys can sit down. I don't want to embarrass you or anything. But I've done that enough. But the STEM Academy at North Bergen is the brainchild of Mr. Nicholas Sacco, who is our Director of Education, as well as our Superintendent, Dr. George Salter. And we have some excellent schools in Hudson County. We have High Tech High School, which is consistently among the top ranked schools in New Jersey. It is a national blue ribbon school. We have County Preparatory School in both North Bergen as well as in Jersey City. And so we can afford to have the opportunities for some students to go into the STEM-related fields. However, there is an enormous pool of talented students who need the direction to go into manufacturing and technology that are not being tapped, either because they are underserved students or they are students who have a different childhood dream and they don't quite know how to change that into a dream of a true career. I can also tell you that one of the best ways to connect with young people is through Instagram now, not just Facebook. That's just a heads up for one of my students back there. And one of the best things that companies can do, and I work with NASA and Goddard year-round now, is to get to the students, is to reach them somehow. We can reach educators, and that's extremely important, but what's also very critical in getting students to be interested in manufacturing is to connect it with a real world gain for that child, is to reach to the students in the way they see things. Students today still see manufacturing, and I know this because I teach 600 children a week in computer education. I teach them from 2nd grade all the way through 8th grade, and then I now work with 9th graders, and I will be working with them through 12th grade. They still see manufacturing as a blue-collar, big horn blowing in the morning, big horn blowing at lunch, big horn blowing in the afternoon job. It's only after they get out of high school or after some time in college that they truly see the next generation of manufacturing as it is today. And with many of them, that's too late. The National Defense Industry Association did a 50-year study from Eisenhower till now, and many of the numbers that they came up with are the numbers that you came up with. There will be many jobs, millions of jobs. We have to fill the jobs, and that's wonderful. But the key in great education is not bringing the students to you, but bringing you to the students all the way down. And 5th grade is the key grade, according to that study by, and this was Boeing and some other companies. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, so my mind is gone. But any way that we can help you in getting your message to our students and to many of our students who really desperately need that kind of guidance, we're open to it. And I promised my cohort, Ms. Carline, that I would not be afraid to stand up here and ask you for actual money or resources, so I'm doing that now. And we need your expertise to marry our knowledge of education in order to bring all of us to the students and therefore build their lives and careers, and especially underserved students. There is such a huge talent pool, huge, and they need you. We need you, you need us in education, and everybody wins. You win in the long term because you've got a great pool of workers now that you've created through your partnerships with us. So I know this wasn't really supposed to be that kind of asking, but you know what? Now that I'm up here, I wanted to take the opportunity, as many as you have. So thank you so kindly for having us today. Guys, give them a hand. This is a privilege to be here. Thank you so much.